Hello, my name is Chong and my metric number is 284645. And now I'm going to talk about great interview tips to all of you so that all of you can get good information about the interview tips. So now before we get into the topic, so we have to know that what is interview. So interview is a process where job applicants and also the interviewers can exchange each of the ideas and the informations so that each of them can get the informations that they want. So through the interview, even though interview is a good process for both of them to get the information they want, but some of them think that interview is not an easy case, and they think interview is the thing that will make them afraid. So now I'm going to show you all show you all the tips that you can use during the interviews. So there are three parts that in the interview. So the first part will be before the interview, and the second part will be during the interview, and the last part will be after interview. So I believe that all of you, after getting the tips, so you can do your interview good, and you can be more confident and get more information that you need to have. For the first one is for interview. So what we should know before interview? So the first one is research the company and the interviewers. Doing early research is compulsory. So the research that we can do is about the company breakdown, working hours, working culture, mission and vision, business type, achievement, and awards obtained by the companies. So after we have known about this kind of informations, then the interviewer might ask us about this kind of knowledge. After we know that, then we can answer the interviewers correctly. So they will think that, oh, this job applicants has done earlier research, so that they will think we are we are well prepared for the interviews. So for the next one, understand job description. Make sure you are qualified and fulfill all the requirements of the job. So for example, if you if the job requires you to have Microsoft Office skills, so if you have skills, so of course you can apply the job. Not then I think you should not have to think about the job. You should change to other job and have a consideration on the other job. Next, we move to the during the interview day. What should you prepare for yourself, and what should you prepare earlier so during the interview day? So greeting nicely to the interviewer. So you should introduce your name, your purpose, and the thing that you should avoid is talk directly. I mean, introduce yourself in in not formal way. For example, hi, hello, I'm here to get this job. Oh no, you should not do like this. You should express yourself in a formal way. For example, my name is Chung Xiang and my purpose is to interview for this job. So I'm here to interview. So if you express like this, the interviewer will think that you are respecting the interviewers, him or her. So this will give a good impression to them. So they will think you are good. So for the next one, make a good impression. Your attire, your shoes are appropriate. Your hairstyle, your nails are clean, and always put your smile on. So for this, you are giving a good impression to interviewers. The next one, respond truthfully to the questions. So what I mean is treat all the questions seriously. For example, you are not really need to skip any questions that asked by the interviewers, reject to answer unless it is sensitive. So for example, if you are asked about the sensitive questions that will make you feel uncomfortable, so you are able to reject to answer. But if the question is normal about your personal, about your education or something, then you should really reply to your interviewers. So after interview, what you should have to do? After interview, send a good thank you letter. Thank you letter, how we can send it? After the interview, we can get a business card from the interviewer. So send a thank you card is the same day. For example, after we get an email from the interviewer, so we can so besides the email, there are many informations show there about probably a contact number. So you after you get an email, you can send the interview letter. If the interview was made in the morning, so you can send the thank you letter in the evening. So must be on in the same day to show your sincere to the interviewer, like your appreciation of the job, so that the interviewer you feel like, oh, you are really appreciate this opportunity and you're feeling good with this interview. Okay, so these three interview tips, no, I mean before interview, during interview, and after interview. So there are many tips here. You should focus on all of these tips to get yourself more well prepared for the interview. So from here, I hope all of you have gained many knowledge through this session. Also, hope you all can get a good result through the interview. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Izzuddin Aiman bin Ahmad and my metric number is 286442. Before I continue, I'd like to thanks to my previous friend Chong Li Jiang. He has gone over all over the relevant tips and preparation that we need to make for the interview. All of the information that Jiang shared just now will be very useful to all of you as a listener as you prepare for the interview. Okay, now I move to my next section, which is about the common mistake people make during interview. Many people only pay attention to advice on how to conduct a successful interview, but they forget to look up and take note of the error we should avoid while the interview session. In fact, a lot of advice and knowledge about how to prepare for the interview have been shared on the internet and social media. However, there are still those who fail to properly prepare for the interview, which will the result in their job application being rejected. So what are some of the most common errors made by interviewers? Okay, I'm going to share with all with some mistake that many people make without even realizing during an interview. The first point is come late during the interview. I think this is a basic requirement and it is preferable to arrive an hour early and wait a minute late. There is a no acceptable excuse or reason for being late for such as important session that the fact is the interviews candidate are always slow come during the interview. If you arrive on time, you will usually be required to do a few other things like register with the security officer before entering the building and fill out the important form. All of which will take the time, so please get up early and arrive early at the interview location because we never know what will happen during the trip like traffic jam, accident, grab or taxi arrive late. So please arrive early, and if you have an emergency, please contact the interview panel as soon as possible. You must be clever estimating the appropriate overtime and arrive early enough to enter the interview session where your name is called. Interviewers are allowed to be late, even if it appears unfair and is seen as their right, but you as the applicant should never be. Your delay indicates that you are either indifferent or disorganized and unable to plan or boards. All of this makes you an unsuitable candidate to work in any company and organization. The second point is a critique and complaint about all employers. Never say this to an interviewer when they ask why you quit your job and what you think of your previous job. Critique the all employers or anyone else will give the interviewer a negative impression of your attitude. Saying negative things about your current or former employer is the quickest way to get fired. Never express your dissatisfaction with your employer in front of an interviewer, no matter how bad they are. You will fail the interview even if your allegations are true and reasonable. This is due to the fact that you will be considered disrespectful to your employer. They will perceive you as a negative individual who is not matured, over emotional, likes to blame each other, not responsible, and lacks a good heart. Avoid telling the interviewer about the pros and cons of your previous employer, but do tell them about the pros and cons of your current employer. Everyone has their own set of strengths and weaknesses. When you speak a positive perspective, the interviewer will see you as a positive person and mature-minded individual. The third point is untidy personal appearance. A neat appearance will persuade the interviewer that you are a clean person who know how to manage time and care for your self-image. This trait will be translated into a workplace that portrays you as the one who upholds the organization image. When we want to introduce ourselves to the stranger, the most important thing is to make a good first impression. When you go to a job interview, for example, the first thing the employer will notice is your appearance. Your prospective employer will undoubtedly evaluate how you speak, respond, dress, and smell. The first impression can be highly accurate. It is critical to dress nicely for an interview, whether it is for a government or private sector job. Wrong clothing selection can also one of the reasons you are not accepted for work. For example, male candidates do not wear a tie, use shoes like sport shoes, hair is not styled neatly, do not wear sock, and then the shirt is worn informally like going a date with a girlfriend, do not wear a belt, and then the female candidates are frequently observed making the following uses error like excessive use of spectacles, excessive and impolite hijab style, unsuitable clothing selection is like attend to party, overly prominent shirts and hood patterning, wearing shoes with excessive high heel and makeup application in the face. And then as a result, anyone who will or needs to attend the interview, they should first check their tidiness and have a perfect enough preparation. Alright, the last point is unconvincing character. That's a failure to maintain behavior. The candidate must maintain the appropriate behavior during the interview. A panel of interviewers will grade each candidate based on their performance. For example, moving the leg, sitting the cross leg, and chewing gum during the interview. The bad behavior will have an impact on your interview score. And then using the improper tones. During the interview, use a low tone, spoiler, seductive, and to hide. Avoid making such noise during the interview session. This is because it will show you are nervous and lack self-confidence. The interview can detect this, so you need to always be calm. The use of the following indicate that you do not take the interview session seriously. You should speak using a simple and confident tone and intonation. You are able to show your confidence through the way you talk. And then lastly, avoid the missing language. You are advised to use only one language only without mixing it with the other language. If the candidate is in Malay, answer in Malay. If English, we need to be prepared to answer in English. So, in conclusion, I believe that there are many more mistakes that people make during the interview. So, in order to success the interview and avoid the making mistake, you must be prepared thoroughly. So, I think I get that just the sharing of information from us. We hope that the information we present today can help you all to success the interview and be able to avoid making any mistake during the interview. May all of you who hear this continue to success in all of the fields that you will venture into the one day. Alright, thank you for your listening.